My name is Dr. Muhammad Hamid, and I'm going to discuss basic pathophysiology related to COVID 19 disease. Now, COVID stands for coronavirus disease as it is started at the end of 2019 in Chinese city of Wuhan. That's why it is called COVID 19. SARS-CoV-2 is a virus responsible for COVID-19 disease. Virus is also called novel coronavirus. SARS-CoV-2 is named due to its similarity with SARS coronavirus, which causes an outbreak in 2002 and 2003. SARS basically stands for severe acute respiratory syndrome, and COVID-2 stands for coronavirus 2. Coronavirus is a positive sensed single stranded RNA, consists of four structural proteins called spike, membrane, envelope, and nucleocapsid. Virus attach to a receptor in the alveoli through its outer spikes. Virus usually circulated among bats, and these bats act as a reservoir for these viruses, but somehow it got mutated and entered into the human being. So it originally started as zoonotic transmission, but later it was recognized that human to human transmission played a major role in the subsequent outbreaks. Transmission from human to human is mainly by droplet route when patient cough or sneeze. Another route is airborne when virus remains suspended in the air for some time and inhaled by susceptible individual. Virus can also be transmitted by direct like handshakes and indirect contact with the patient. A mechanism of SARS-CoV-2 invasion into host cells. Virus was enter the body, it travel down to the alveoli. First, it attaches to the receptor on type 2 pneumocytes called angiotensin converting enzyme 2 receptors. After attachment, it enters the cells by endocytosis. Here, the viral contents are released inside the cells. Viral RNA enters the nucleus for replication. So, new viral particles are made, and these virus particles matured and released into the alveoli. So the host response to SARS-CoV-2 is that the macrophages which are already present in the alveoli engulf these several viruses and release cytokines. These are inflammatory markers called interleukin 1, 6, 8 and tumor necrotizing factor. Interleukin 8 also attract neutrophils from blood, which also causes lung injury. These interleukin increases vascular permeability, which leads to excessive fluid in the interstitium and within alveoli. So there is infiltration of large number of inflammatory cells, neutrophils, and cell debris in the alveoli. Ultimately, alveoli collapses due to the destruction of type 2 pneumocytes and loss of surfactant. This is one of the alveoli. Here you can see the alveoli filled with protein-rich fluid, neutrophils and cell debris. Injury site for COVID-19, mainly the respiratory system is involved in this disease. Initially, alveolar epithelial cells are damaged, which causes dry cough, and at the same time, other symptoms like fever, myalgia, sore throat, and diarrhea may also be seen in these patients. But the severe disease actually occurs after a week of these mild symptoms, and dyspnea is the most common symptom at that time. A striking feature of COVID 19 is the rapid progression of respiratory failure soon after the onset of dyspnea and hypoxemia. ARDS like signs and symptoms are commonly seen with bilateral infiltrates on chest x ray and CT scan, but usually the lung compliance is well preserved. Initially respond to prone positioning and lung protective ventilation strategies after intubation, but later on patient may develop sepsis and hypercoagulable state leading to pulmonary embolism and multi-organ failure. Other sites of injury, it can cause acute myocardial injury, acute renal injury, acute liver injury, and can also cause coagulopathy and shock state. Diagnosis depends on sinus symptoms and certain studies. Imaging studies like chest CT may show bilateral ground glass opacities. Hematological studies may show lymphopenia, decrease fibrinogen level, increased D dimer, interleukin 6, interleukin 10, and tumor necrotizing factor. And later stages, you may see thrombocytopenia as well. The gold standard and commonly performed test for diagnosing symptomatic and asymptomatic patient is RT-PCR, which is reverse transcription polymerase chain reaction, where a nasopharyngeal or throat swab is taken from the patient, but the sensitivity of this test is around 70%. Another test is serological antibody test. Here, IgG and IgM antibodies against this virus are identified, but these antibodies appear late, at least 5 to 7 days after the onset of symptoms. So it cannot be performed in early stages of disease. But the presence of both positive PCR and antibody test improved the sensitivity to almost 99%. Another method to detect virus is isothermal amplification, which can be used as a point of care test because it is a rapid test for detection of viral RNA. Thank you.